YouTube, what the crap's going on? Oh boy, get ready. We got a wave of new stuff incoming to Total War Warhammer 2. And wow, I'm excited. I've had a lot of fun. I've had access to this for a little while, gotten to familiarize myself with it, so appreciate Creative Assembly getting this out to me and giving me a chance to get hands-on with the changes. And so what I'm here to do today is to get you up to speed on the changes for the Beastmen. Now, if you're wondering about the new free LC Lord for the Dwarves, I will have another video about that, and we'll cover any changes to them. This video is going to specifically focus on the changes to the Beastmen and their campaign. I'm not allowed to show you any of the DLC units yet, so we won't be playing as Tarox or as Oxiatl, so they're not here yet, okay? But I can go play as any of the already existing Beastmen characters, which we will do, and I will get you all a chance to see what the changes are like in their campaign. Now, to demonstrate this, I'm going to go ahead and load up a campaign with Kazrak here, and we're going to talk a little, and then I've got some save games where I've been playing through a campaign. So after I kind of explain the mechanics, I'll show you how I was able to put them to work, and then you'll be able to see what it brings to you as far as new mechanics in the Mortal Empires or in the Vortex campaign. Alright, once you get in the campaign and you get Crowboy to shut his yap, man, I hate that guy. I just want to kill him. You get to learn a little bit about what's new with the Beastmen. You're going to notice a couple of things right off the bat up here at the top, and we'll talk about that, this new bar up here, because there are some pretty interesting things. Now, first off, if you don't know anything about the Beastmen, maybe the Beastmen are new to you. Well, you should have gotten them sooner because they're a lot of fun, but they're way better now. For those of us who liked the Beastmen in the first game, which includes myself, they've been extremely disappointing to play for a long time because their campaign mechanics are just horribly outdated. And so here's what has changed. Obviously, they're still a Horde faction. Okay, it says they can only form limited settlements, and they roam the map as a Horde. You can see that from the little Horde icon up on the top of your army here is Kazrak. So that doesn't really change. It says if you keep fighting and raiding, it keeps their Bestial Rage high. And Bestial Rage is now what's going to control your growth. It won't have anything to do with Bray herds. It's going to have to do with growth. So the more you're fighting, the more it helps your Horde grow, and it helps you be able to improve your Horde buildings and to be able to improve your army by connection. Now, the first big major change here is going to be Blood Grounds. So let's talk about Blood Grounds, and I'll give you all a little demonstration while we're here at it to make this make sense. So basically now, when you're a Beastman, you're out hunting your pack, you're going to declare an area a Blood Ground. And by declaring it a Blood Ground, it opens up some really fun possibilities to you. And to turn it into a Blood Ground, you have to build a Herdstone. Now, if you have a shard up here, see it says Herdstone shards, you're able to build a Herdstone and declare a Blood Ground, which basically then becomes your hunting area, where your beastie boys are going to roam around hunting down all the locals to your bloody heart's desire. We need to establish our first Herdstone. Now, let's just talk about a little bit more of this, too. When you create this Herdstone, you basically are going to burn down an enemy settlement. You put a Herdstone in its place, and it's like a limited settlement. You can put like 1 or 2 buildings there, depending on what level your Herdstone is built up to. And those buildings are kind of like support buildings for you locally. It helps put a garrison there and gives you some extra bonuses like replenishment and other stuff like that with the buildings that you can build around the Herdstone. It's not a full-size settlement, and it's not something they even have to be attached to permanently, for that matter. But when you go ahead and declare a Blood Ground, then you're able to start looking around for these marks of ruination. That's this icon you see right here, and you'll see it again up here. Now, when you open up a Blood Ground, it'll show you how many... well, in fact, let's just work on opening the Blood Ground, and then we'll come back to how they play. Okay? So we'll come back to how they play. It does still have Dread here. Dread is new. Let's actually go ahead and talk about Dread real quick, and then I'll demonstrate the Blood Ground more. So, and Beast Pass, of course, are the same, so we don't need to talk about Beast Pass because it's just kind of like traveling in the underway. All right, Dread. Dread is kind of like a new faction-specific currency for the Beastmen, okay? It's basically, you can invoke the Dark Gods with this dread currency you're earning, and you can get upgrades and get favors from them, and you gain dread by winning battles, sacking settlements, all that kind of stuff. If you read through it here, it says it can be acquired from raising settlements, completing missions, winning battles in which higher numbers of enemy casualties will earn more dread. Okay, so it's like a currency that you earn from being a Beastman and doing Beastman things. Burning things down, skulls for the Skull Throne, all that type of stuff, okay? So that's how you go get yourself Dread, and there's a lot you can do with the Dread, and this is a very exciting. Here we are in Rewards of the Dread. This is a new panel they've added in, and basically, depending on your Ruination level, which you see here right now, we're at Ruination level 1, it's very limited as to what I could unlock. You'll see anything where you need a higher Ruination level, it's got that icon there for the Marks of Ruination. See, it says you require 25 more Marks of Ruination. So I can't do any of these ones that are marked off by that. But your recruiting is totally different. I would say, imagine your recruiting is now a lot more like the Tomb Kings with the Beastmen. You don't pay upkeep, you don't have to pay a recruitment cost to bring units in, but you do have to use gained dread in order to be able to increase the numbers of good units. So, like, you can recruit as many crap Ungor units as you want, but if you want to have better units, like these Spearmen with Shields, or even Ungor Herds, Warhounds, Razor Gourds, Feral Manticores, Chariots, all that stuff, you've got to have way more dread, and you have to unlock them, and then the number of these units you can field, you can see here is a unit cap. So I can only field 2 of these Ungor Spearmen with Shields or Ungor Herds. And I have to use my Dread to upgrade that number. So some people might think, oh, it'd be super easy to Doom stack now. Well, you gotta have enough Dread to be able to get that Doom stacking going, and this applies to all of your armies. So let's say I had 4 armies right now, which I can't, because that's also controlled by your Ruination level. See where it says Army Capacity +1? So you can't just Doom stack everything right off the bat. Okay, you have to earn your way through this Devastation, and you got to get more Devastation, use it for upgrades to get better units, and then over here you can see Lords and Heroes. So let's say that, for instance, you got a whole bunch of Devastation, and you want to confederate the other Beastmen, Legendary Lords. So Malagor, Morgar, or how Tarox will be here. Now, I can't show you any stuff with Tarox right now, but this just shows you how you're able to use that Dread to even confederate in these Lords. If they're alive and their faction's alive, it'll confederate them, and if they're dead, basically it just pulls them into your faction, and you can recruit them. You can use it to get these other units as well, or other hero units, and then you can also use it for upgrades. You can see that you can upgrade it where you can build better Herdstones that unlock more support buildings or have a better garrison. You can use it to purchase like a higher recruitment level for your Lords and Heroes. See, Lords and Heroes recruited at rank 5. You can use it to purchase an extra army capacity. So Dread gives you the ability to unlock all kinds of cool stuff. And then outside of Dread, you can spend some of your favor or loot, basically, where you're looting settlements, because you don't really earn income, you know, like you do with other factions. You go loot it and raid it and all that kind of stuff. And you can use it to purchase special items over here. So this is a really cool addition, and this has made Beastmen a lot of fun for me to play. And I want to demonstrate some of it as we go demonstrate how the new Blood Ground works. So I like to get hands-on with the game. Hopefully you all don't mind that either, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to take Khazrak's Horde here. We're going to attack Lupio's Sunscryer. We get to ambush him because of the stance that we're in. Let's go kill him, and then let's make our way over and show you how the Blood Ground works. Okay, I am ready to execute the ambush here, so let's execute Order 66. Get in here and attack these Empire wannabes. Okay, so I've got Khazrak moving in. I'm gonna send him after Lupio. Got my sweet Razor Gore chariots ripping through these crossbows. Did a great job mopping them up. And then, of course, I got my Ungor Raiders back there going off the Pistoliers. This should be a pretty easy battle to win, but would let you all get some sweet Beastie Boy action in here. It's been too long. It has been too long since we've had a good Beastmen campaign. The Beastie Boys are back. Oh, I think I turned off the blood effects. I'll make sure and turn them back on, but without the when this always updates, I think the blood attacks are overkill, and I have a mod that tones them down. I had the blood effects turned off to take some screenshots. Forgot to turn it back on. Oh well, not the end of the world. There we go. So we overcame Lupio. Big surprise. All right, so ooh, we grabbed a potion of healing off of him. That's awesome. Gained a rank. I'm gonna use this to replenish some of our units. I like to devour the captives. You know, have some tasty Hume burger. It's something that Grom enjoyed back in his campaign as well. Alright, so we beat the trash out of Lupio Sunscryer. Magritte lies in front of us, but we're going to need some more boys here to help take down their settlements. I'm going to show you how the new recruiting works. See that? It still takes me a turn to recruit these units, but they don't cost me money, and then they don't cost upkeep. But see how limited I am in what I can recruit at this point? In fact, I am going to keep my recruiting the way it is. I think we're good there. Kazrak's got his potion of healing. We're doing our recruitment, and we should be able to build a new horde building here too. This one's going to be great because it helps us gain dread every turn, and we can start to get some sweet upgrades. So we'll build that while we're stuck here recruiting. I got a skill point to throw on Kazrak. Let's go with Gargantuan Hooves. Who doesn't like some Gargantuan Hooves? End our turn here. Watch Lupio run back to his city. It looks like the Skaven already came out and nuked Tabaro. That sounds like Skaven. Okay, so our turn is over, and now we can, well, actually, before we siege Magritte, there's no reason why we shouldn't just grab a few more troops. I mean, because we got the time, so why not? I'm gonna grab another Ungor Raider and a couple of dogs to run down routing troops. And Lupio is recruiting now as well, but it's okay. We should be able to outperform him. Let's take a look and see what we're up against here.
I'll ignore that.
Bunch of swordsmen, some crossbows, and then his army. He's just got some of the same old stuff here. We should be able to cut him down and get the job done. So I'm going to come in here and attack, because I want to set up a blood ground. And we're going to have to win a battle in order to get that blood ground. I'm going to hold a siege on him. But it's very possible they're going to come out and attack me because they're going to be feeling pretty good about their large numbers. Alright, this is a couple turns later. I'm still sieging Lupio. He's too chicken to come out and fight me. And we got this awesome thing here, so we can either get a Bray Shaman or a Gorbul. Now, the smarter thing to do would be to go ahead and get some magic. That Gorbul is just crazy tempting, but I am going to go with the Bray Shaman. It's good to have magic, so I'm going to go ahead and recruit the Bray Shaman. And we'll put him in the army here. What do we get? Shadows? That's a good one. Alright, so we're going to keep sieging Lupio until he either comes out and fights, or we're ready to go in and get him. I'm trying to remember if I'm building towers. You are. And you can never have too many towers, so I'm going to throw some of those in there. I'm going to continue this siege, and I'll let you all know when we're ready to jump in. Alright, we just got this this nice little dilemma here. It says the Dark Moon. Morslib is ascendant, usurping the sun's revered place in the firmament. The world is awash with sick and terrible hues. Such an event is almost unheard of. The call to the beastmen. I'm going to go with this beastly inclination. We get 15 melee attack and 30% weapon damage for 3 turns. And I think I have all my towers ready. No, I need one more turn. I'll have a ton of towers ready. So let's continue the siege for one more turn. Then we'll use that beastly inclination to cut our way through these fleshy humans. Alright, they are still way too scared to come out and fight me, so we are ready to go in and get them. I've got multiple towers. Let's go ahead and fight this battle and create our blood ground. Alright, the battle's underway. I'm going to move my siege towers up. Go get attached to the walls and start giving it to these filthy humans. Like I said, we've got our stats way up right now thanks to that event that popped up. So our units ought to be more effective in combat. Let's make sure our siege towers aren't taking too much damage. Looks like they should make it to the walls. A couple of them will take quite a bit of damage, but we should be alright. I move up my Ungor Raiders, move up my leaders. I'm actually going to hold with my Ungor Raiders for just a second. There's some artillery back there. Something's got a line of sight on me. It may just be those crossbowmen. Yeah, it's just the crossbowmen. I'm going to wait till my Bestigor get up there and mess them up a little. Let's see how we're doing siege towers. Yeah, we're doing fine. Our siege towers are going to make it to the walls. Comes Kazrak. Before we move him into crossbow range, we should be a little bit careful there. Alright, let's move our Ungor Raiders up. Open fire. Alright, towers are on the walls. That'll help cut some of the crossbow fire. And now I'll send these two to go ahead and start chopping the gates down so we can get our chariots inside. Go on fire at will with my Ungor Raiders. Alright, my Bestigor should be doing great. Look at that. They got 55 melee attack. They only have 24 defense, which isn't great, but they're well armored. And they're dealing out a lot of weapon strength right now. Even my cheap units over here. Look at this Ungor Herd. Nice poison. 42 attack with poison. We should be doing quite well. There's a lot of humans here, so we will be outnumbered by a considerable margin. But hopefully we'll be able to overcome. I'm going to start using some Mystifying Miasma over here to help my weaker troops. There's Kazrak after the gates. Get the Bray Shaman up there. Ungor Raiders kind of holding them down. We're doing really well on the walls over here. We are shredding. We're doing real nice right there, too. Mystifying Miasma helping us chop through that. Yeah, we're starting to overrun the walls, which is great. We'll need to be careful about when and where we decide to come down from the walls. We're getting shot by crossbows over here, so that is not ideal. That is definitely not ideal. To chop these units down. Alright. How are the gates doing for me? They have 15%. These guys really aren't made for chopping through gates. Go ahead and pull up my additional units here. Get them moving forward, so I got my reinforcements coming out. Well, we're not taking too much damage to any of our units. I'd say things are going quite well. I'm going to go ahead and hop down from the walls with some of these units. Begin fighting. My Bestigor, I'll leave them on the walls because, well, at least I'll leave one of them up there. I'm going to bring the other one down. We've cleared out the walls on this side. We're able to get down here and start challenging Lupio. My Bestigor herd should be more than up to the task. As they come off the walls, we should begin to overwhelm. Gate damage is up to 39%, 40. We'll be able to get through the gates here soon. I'm going to actually move this unit of spears over here. And an attack order. Let's see if I can move this unit of spears over here and attack that crossbow unit. Alright, everything on the walls is routing, so it's time to bring our Bestigor down. This unit's already coming down. Our units are coming off the walls. The gates are about to be, well, I say they're about to be breached. Kazrak's not much of a gate breaker. We'll just have to let him do his job as he huffs and puffs and blows the gate down slowly. Let's let you all get some close-ups while we're in here. He's a stallion gentleman here. They normally welcome people to Astalia, at least that's the meme, but I don't really think they want the beastmen here. You guys just gonna cheer up there, or are you gonna follow my orders, get down here and kill some crossbows? Get down there. Quit celebrating. You lazy beast. Now seriously, this is pretty annoying. Something's causing my guys to not come down. I think it's this routing unit is in the way, and it's kind of blocking some of my movement. Here they go. They've been given the order now. Hopefully they'll come down. Maybe they're... Like, what is going on? There! Finally got some beasts coming off the walls. Alright, so we're going to get into those crossbows. Keep them from firing. Kazrak's still trying to blow the gate down. He didn't get any lessons from the big bad wolf. So... Come on, Kazrak, man. It's not really a man, he's a beast man. But here we go. Start moving some Bestigors to the town center. Whatever units were here on the ground are getting rocked pretty hard. Oh, the gate's almost open. Yay, there we go. Every beast inside. Bring my dogs forward and go attack the stuff on the town center. Same with the chariots. I'm just going to start rolling straight for the back here. Okay, let's bring these spears in here. Not that we really need him. Kazrak's going to want to go over here and help kill Lupio. In fact, I'm going to let him get in here and get in on the action. Mystify his miasma a little. Alright, so Lupio Sunscryer is going to get the same treatment that Boris got. If he has 2 eyes, he's definitely not leaving with more than 1. I don't know, we could give him an extra eye, but that'd be more of a Throt thing to do, it seems. Prey Shaman falling on his face. Anyway, there we go. We've taken the settlement. So you can see how that event that popped up prior to that gave me a really good opportunity to attack the settlement. Now, we picked up some favor there, which is like our loot, some magic items. We picked up some dread as well, and you can see now we have 307 dread. It's decisive victory. I'm going to raise a Herdstone. See how we have the options here? I can raise it and move on. I don't have to make a blood ground here if I don't feel like it. But we very much need to increase our marks of ruination, and in order to do that, we need to raise a Herdstone. So that's what I'm going to do here. And now it kind of makes this a Beastmen settlement of sorts, right? I mean, as much as the Beastmen build settlements. You can see it's mostly just a crap stack. But, you know, that's what cloven animals do. So I'm gonna put in this carrion offerings because it helps improve my replenishment rate. And it gives us some Centigores and a garrison, which is quite nice. So there we go. We have established a blood ground. Now you're going to see some new stuff that popped up on the screen. This is called Devastation. And the current Devastation level is at 6. And that's where you hover over your blood ground. And what you're going to see is, if I go knock out Tabaro, I'll get 6 more, and it'll make the total 12. If I go over here, that'll make it 18. If I go get this one, it'll be 24. And so on. Until you've destroyed every settlement that's part of the blood ground. You can see your blood ground when you zoom up here. So the blood ground includes Bilbali, Skaven Blight, Tabaro, and Magritta. So if you want to, you can basically go get all of the devastation here by raising these other settlements and collecting it all. And you'll see here it says Ritual Locked. You have to have at least 10 devastation before you can perform this ritual. And once you perform the ritual, it takes all that devastation and converts it into marks of ruination, helping you level up. So it is worth your while to go out and collect as much devastation from your blood ground as you can. But of course, if you just want to be quick, you can do the ritual. Once you've done the ritual, no one can rebuild any raised settlements in the blood ground until they tear down your Herdstone. So it makes for a really kind of cool thing where the AI won't just be constantly settling in behind you. They have to come challenge your Herdstone if they want to resettle the other stuff. So it's a really neat feature. Anyway, you can kind of see how this works. So what I'd like to do at this point is load up a different point in the campaign and show you when I was busy gathering up some marks of ruination, show you how I've spent a little of my devastation points, and just give you a little bit of a feel for how it goes a little later into a campaign. Okay, this is a Kazrak campaign, and I am 78 turns in, and I have had a few blood grounds and gotten quite a few marks of ruination, and I just kind of want to, again, demonstrate this a little further in. So you can see here, back when I played this before, I only ended up with 10 devastation at my first blood ground, but then I moved on, and you can see I picked up 20 devastation from the blood ground at Castle Carcassonne. And then I got a whopping 48 out of the forest. You can see the forest is under new management, and it's looking quite lovely. I think the Beastmen have done a nice job redecorating. I mean, there's too much green, all this attrition. I mean, now it's looking much more beautiful, all right? And so now I'm working on a little devastation over at Castle Bastone, which of course might need to be renamed to Castle Beaststone. And so the Beastmen are busy building up a whole bunch of devastation because I really want to get some serious marks of ruination going. Because there's some big critters I want to recruit to my army as we get up here. So here's what we're going to do. I've already got 144 built up, and if I wanted to, I could hit this button right now and convert all that into marks of ruination and, you know, just take my wins and go on. But I'm a Beastman. I like to destroy things. If I take a look, no, we don't want to perform the ritual. If I click on Castle Baston, there is still more devastation. This is a huge blood ground that I have here. So you can see there's still devastation to be had by attacking Grungzint. There's devastation to be had by attacking Blackstone Post and Karak Ziflin and Montfort. So there's still some devastation to be had in this blood ground, and I'm greedy. I want absolutely all of it. So let me show you what I'm up to. I have Morgur, who, by the way, remember that devastation thing I talked about? See, I have a bunch of dread. I have a whole bunch of dread right now. I have 1182, but I've been using dread. I've bought higher unit caps to help me out with my now multiple armies. I used it in order to pull in Malagor and Morgur. I can't bring in Tarax right now because I'm not allowed to, but you know, when the time comes, the Brass Bull will arrive. I've done upgrades on my Herdstones. I've basically made it to where I can have more buildings at level 2 and stuff. You know, so I'm making upgrades through here. I've even bought some of the items over here with all of my favor that we've been winning. So like this Champion's Essence, I'm using that. Got some really good stuff. So that's how I've been using the Dread in order to give myself more armies. Check out my Morgur army, by the way, too. I'm proud of this. Look how many Chaos Spawn I got in here. Who doesn't love them some Chaos Spawn? Alright? Anyway, the Greenskins have Paravon over here. It is not worth any devastation points to me. But I mean, come on, man. We can't leave this stuff right in front of me. I'll have to wait till the next turn because I don't have any movement points. But, you know, I'll show you that when it goes on. Malagor's still moving his way up here. He was way off in the Badlands messing around with Greenskins whenever I bought him off. And Kazarak is waiting for a turn in. So let's end our turn, and let's get some marks of ruination by basically converting all this devastation. I want to show you what it looks like whenever we kind of wrap up a blood ground hunt. I've had a lot of fun with this one. I've killed multiple Bretonnian factions. I've fought Greenskins. I even had to knock Marienburg out of that fort over there. And look at that, the dwarves just resettled the fort too, so now they're going down. These guys just don't get it, do they? And look, here's one of those dilemmas again. Let's see. Bestial Rage. You know what? Some extra campaign movement range could be pretty good. I'm mostly replenished, or else I would need that. So let's just say no matter how far. All right, there we go. So the dwarves, look, see, I had already gotten the, I had already picked up the, or there is no more devastation to be had from there for them. So we'll let the dwarves live for a moment. They've got me trapped here, though. And I'm already at war with them, so I am going to have to kill them. Never mind. The dwarves are going to die. Let's get these Greenskins out of our way so I can move on to Montfort. Just going to auto-resolve this one here. You did. Gonna loot and raise it. So I got rid of the Greenskins there. Oh, Skull Smashers. Get yourself destroyed. I'm gonna get Malagor. Look how much extra movement range he's got. In fact, I mean, I can probably just... No, because standard stance isn't as good. Let's go on the underground. Get a long movement. So Malagor is almost up here and ready for action. Let's upgrade Morgur here. I think I was working on some upgrades for my spawn. I was. So see, this is going to make my spawn stronger in this army. That's definitely what we want, because we like rocking some Chaos Spawn when we're playing as Morgur. I'm going to have to kill the Dawi here. You can see there's been changes to the auto-resolve, too. Now a little different. This should be a pretty easy auto-resolve. Let's just smack these guys down. Get the dwarves out of there. And I'm going to use this one to get some replenishment, and it gives me a little bit of movement points also, so that'll kind of help me make up for the fact that the dwarves held me up for a turn. I'm going to move over here and go into a well-hidden encampment and do some replenishing. Upgrade my Gore Bowl here. He is pretty pimped out already, though, which is great. So let's do this training. And then we've got a Bray Shaman here, a Lore of Wild, and he is also pretty well decked out. Finish his work on Mantle of Gorok, and let's see what we got left. I had a Brace Shaman I'm out here using to do some agent actions. And see, that block army was a success. The reason why I'm doing agent actions is they've actually changed the research. It says challenges of the Dark Gods, and each one of these is unlocked through different things. So see, like this one says perform 5 successful hostile agent actions to unlock this. And so basically you have challenges with each one, and before it's unlocked, it'll show you the challenge that you have to complete in order to unlock it. So it's pretty fun. So that's why my Brave Shaman's out there messing with the greenskins still. Plus, it helps him level up, so why not? There we go. So let's head back over here, end another turn, and let's see if we can collect up all the remaining devastation from this blood ground. I have multiple armies because the AI keeps resettling all these things really quickly. So I had to bring up multiple armies so I can really lay down a beating, because I want this blood ground to be cleared out. I want all the devastation, like a big, greedy grab of devastation. I've got these pirates who declared war on me, and they keep wanting peace. You ain't getting peace. This only ends in one of two ways. You come kill me and take a piece of me, or I'm taking a piece of you. That's the only peace you get when the Beastmen are working diplomacy, folks. You gotta do it right. You know, don't let these factions make you think that you should be doing any other type of piece. Alright, so we're going to burn this to the ground. Is this melee attack +8 for the assigned unit? I mean, that'd be pretty cool on these Butchers of Kalkengard. Low casualties, easy victory, loot and raise. I've already raised this settlement multiple times. But you can see that added to our current devastation. See, it went up because we got a few points from that. Let's take a look. Everywhere where we can get devastation at the moment still. So just Karak Ziflin, Blackstone Post, and Grung Zent. So let's take Kazrak. And Grung Zent, we're going to have to move underground to get to it. I'm going to do that. Rakhart doesn't know what's about to hit him. He does have an explosive squig, though. We'll have to watch out for that. Should have done raise in advance. We could have gotten to one of these settlements a little bit quicker, but it'll be alright. I'm going to take Malagor and start moving up closer to Blackstone Post. On this side of the river. Okay, so let's take a look again here. So see, now there's devastation because this was resettled over here by this faction. So I'm going to skip a few turns. You get the idea of what I'm aiming for here. And once I have this blood ground cleared out and ready, we'll run our ritual, and I'll show you how we collect up all this devastation and turn it into marks of ruination. Alright folks, and here I am quite a few turns later. Boy, it took some time to clear out all these vermin, but with my 3 armies working together, I was able to clear out this massive hunting ground that had around Castle Baston, and what a productive hunting ground it has been. I now have 4,393 dread, which is a lot, and we're going to go cash in. I've got a whole bunch of favor. We're going to cash in some of that. And now it is time to perform our ritual and solidify all this devastation up into marks of ruination. And this should level us up once, maybe even twice here. So let's perform the ritual. We're going to accept. Oh yeah, it leveled us up big time. So we are now all the way at ruination level 5, which means we can get these new units. We gain Herdstone shards for making more Herdstones. We have now a higher army capacity. So we got all kinds of good stuff from getting to that higher ruination. And now the best part about it is the AI can't resettle anything in this old blood ground unless they come try and tear down my Herdstone. My Herdstone has a very nice garrison here, which gives me a lot of fun of tinkering around with any enemy who wants to come back into the blood grounds once I'm finished with them. So now I can go on and search for my next blood ground, and I won't show any more of that on this video. We'll just be playing some campaign. Once I'm able to bring you the DLC, I'm going to be running a Tarox campaign. So I'm not going to show any more of this campaign because we'll be doing Tarox whenever I'm available or able to do that for you. Let's get in here and let's spend up some of this this dread that we got here. I definitely want more Minotaurs in the army. So I'm going to be upping the level of some of these units. I need more Bestigor herds. This is going to eat up quite a bit of my dread. And if I take a look here, I think I need a Bray Shaman. I have that Bray Shaman who's way out in the middle of nowhere. I could bring him back, though, rather than trying to get a new one here to put into Morgar's army. So I'd probably bring him back instead. There's upgrades that we can purchase here with our Dread. So if we recruit any Lords and Heroes from here on out, they come at rank 15 if I get that. So that's pretty sweet. So pretty nice upgrades, but I think what I'm going to do with this one is purchase a new upgrade for my Herdstones, so it'll make it even harder for my enemies to get through those Herdstones. I've spent most of my Dread. There's still a few more things we could do, but let's go in here and spend some of our favor as well, right? So we can buy, you know, retainers and Banner of Madness here. I mean, really cool stuff. This Champion's Essence is really good as far as a talisman for one of my heroes to be wearing. It gives you a massive 10% ward save, way more melee attack, and then this nice healing bit here too. So I'm going to purchase that one because we have quite a bit of cash. I'm going to get a couple of them, so we're going to spend our favor. What is this Blood Frenzy? That's really cool too, this mutated Gorgon hide. Oh man, yeah, that's really nice. Let's purchase one of those while we're at it. That sounds good. Vanguard Deployment and Chargement. Now we could potentially have some fun with that with like a Gore Bowl or something. Cloak of Unreality, Missile and Magic Resistance and Distorted Reality. Slows down enemies around you. That sounds pretty fun too. Let's grab that. So there we've spent a little bit of our favor. I can spend it on other things as well. But anyway, hopefully this gives you a good idea of how Blood Grounds work, because that's really what I wanted to cover. So now you know how Blood Grounds work. You know how Dread works. You've seen how these Herdstone shards are put to work, and you've seen how the Marks of Ruination work, and how you progress and build up your Beastmen hordes, how you recruit. Now remember, I raised those unit caps, so see, now I can recruit more Centaurs, more Bestigors, Centaurs with great weapons, Minotaurs. See, because I raised those unit caps, and this army's full, which is why I can't recruit them at the moment. But you see how it says 1 of 3? So that's why I'm buying those unit cap increases. I can get more Chaos Spawn if I want into Morgar's army. So that's why you get that Dread and then put it to use. Got all these new abilities, like for instance, to come over to Morgar, we just purchased that awesome Talisman, this crappy pendant, Plucker pendant. We can replace it with this Champion's Essence. And so now, I mean, he is going to be really healing it up, and he's going to be a way tougher customer. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. And we had that new armor here, too, this Distorted Reality that's pretty cool, or Blood Frenzy. So Blood Frenzy could be pretty neat, too, because we want to get him in melee quite a bit. I mean, Distorted Reality is pretty cool, too. It's like a debuff around him. Gives him extra missile resistance. Let's go with the mutated Gorgon hide. So, see, now I've got Morgar all decked out with all that favor that we earned. So, I don't know. These changes to me are looking pretty great. I can see this making Beastmen campaign feel like it's way more in line with Game 2 factions than what we're used to, you know, having been a Game 1 faction. And so you all tell me what you think down in the comments of the changes to the Beastmen. Did I miss something? Call it out in the comments. And, you know, if you got a great comment like that, I'll try and pin it so that if I miss something, we can show people. But I think this pretty well covers the campaign changes to the Beastmen. It shows you a little more what you can expect. There is just a little bit more here I didn't show you over here, this Dark Moon. So this is kind of cool. And I think it's every time this moon changes is when you're getting that, those, what do you call it? I can't remember the name of it here, but like the event that pops up and has you pick something. So I think that's what's doing this, is when you, you know, are switching in the moon cycles, which again is really cool, just a nice ad for the Beastmen. I think that was the only thing I didn't cover. But like I said, hope you all enjoyed it. HeirofCarthage signing out. I will see you soon with some more action with the Beastmen. And obviously I'll be making a video similar to this to cover what's going on with the new Dwarf Lord as well. So keep an eye out for that soon. HeirofCarthage signing out.